40,000 people,
Yeah.
and they're cheering you on.
Hello and welcome to NUFS. I'm Mike,
I'm Clay.
and we're here to talk about some movies. October is a pretty cool month because we get a weird mixture of like Halloween and like horror, but then also this is when we start rolling out some of those like award early like prestige dramas, and that we got a kind of a weird mix of those this month that we're going to talk about. What are you excited for most about the entire month of October?
Well, in general, whenever October rolls around, I'm just excited for, the scary movies. It's scary movie season. They want me to watch them, so I can just yep, and then I can throw out my recommendations, like, this is what you should check out this time around here.
This is like the only time of the year my wife will actually sit down and watch a horror movie.
There you go.
We always watch Trick or Treat on Halloween night because we'll like hand out candy till 9 o'clock, and then when the kids go to bed, we'll sit down and watch Trick or Treat just because it's such a Halloween classic in my opinion.
Yeah, well, a lot of people. I was talking to some people about standalone horror movies recently, because you get a lot of these horror movies get sequels and franchises. Like, what's the best like standalone? Like, they didn't make a sequel or prequel or anything like that. They just the one film and done. Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat,
because it's kind of standalone. Although it's interesting because it's kind of an anthology film.
It is an anthology. It's like it tells a bunch of they're interconnected stories, but it's all like
it's kind of interesting. They happen in a different order, and you're kind of wondering.
I love that movie.
That's what top one. A lot of people have cited that one.
All right, well, let's take a look at our first movie here, which I think is The Smashing Machine with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. We'll take a look and we'll talk about it.
How did that happen?
Well, have you ever heard of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, the UFC?
That's the bloody thing they're trying to ban.
This guy is the best he has ever seen.
Do you hate each other when you fight?
Absolutely not.
How do you know Mark Kirk?
Oh, we go way back. But he's a buddy of mine.
Come on, baby. Too much?
Never.
Too much?
No.
Please welcome in his Octagon debut, Mark Kirk!
Winning is the best feeling there is. It's 40,000 people,
Yeah.
and they're cheering you on. There's no other high like it in the world. No contract, no money?
No money.
Do you have any stronger pain medication?
Advil?
Advil?
Yeah.
Don, would you like
No.
They're handing them out like candy. Let's all get in. Everybody get in. Hey, Don, can you take this picture for us?
Yeah.
What are you thinking at the beginning of the fight?
It's simple. Am I going to hurt him before he hurts me?
This Grand Prix to crown the greatest fighter in the world. He has come back from the brink. Let's see if he can pull out a victory over Mark Coleman. Have you spoken to either about fighting such a good friend for a life-changing amount of money?
I just need you to let me in.
Always about you. Only about fighting you.
Go. My big, strong man, I love you.
All right. Well, I mean, it looks pretty good. It's A24, but it was also, it's kind of like a passion project for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Sure.
And I'm going to be perfectly honest right now. He's got a lot to prove. His last few movies have not been good. I don't know. What's the last one you saw that he was in?
Last movie that I saw him in, that's a good question, actually. I'm not drawing a blank on it. It might have been back to that second Jumanji movie, David Next Level.
I watched Red 1 with him and Chris Evans. Not good. It was not good. And you know what? He was really big on that movie too. So like, it just feels like they're trying really hard with this one. And I love Emily Blunt, but again, the last time they were together was Jungle Cruise, and like they had negative chemistry in that movie. So like I'm supposed to believe they're going to be love interests in this one.
Maybe, but I don't know. This one's supposed to be realistic, and gritty, and possibly based loosely on true stories.
So, from what I understand, it is based on a true story, the story of Mark Kerr, who was a early UFC fighter. And now I don't know a ton about early UFC, but I know enough. And I don't really know a ton about Mark Kerr. I mean, I know that he bounced between UFC and Pride. He was dealing with a lot of like personal issues at the time. Like he had overdosed multiple times. I think they referenced that in the trailer, by him being in the hospital.
Yep.
Because I don't think that's from fighting.
No.
But he's not one of the names that I remember from early. So like he's not like Boss Rutan or Fedor Emelianenko or one of the Gracies or any of those guys. He's another one of those.
Yeah, and that maybe is what gives me a little hope for it. They're not going for any of the big names. They're just like, this is an interesting story to tell, and as you said, it's a passion project for The Rock. He was clearly inspired by this guy, probably looked up to him quite a bit, and so he's like, I want to tell his story, which many people maybe don't know as much, which kind of in some ways helps because we don't know exactly what's going to happen unless you look it up, unless you from that world. But the thing I took from this one is like, wow, this is peak award season time film. They're swinging for the fences with this one. That's what I mean.
They're trying really hard.
They're going all in there, and they're using. We got that. We'll have some grainy footage to make it look old timey in some scenes, and we're gonna segue into like from. Looks like they're almost using some real life footage segue into that their footage too to some extent.
Well, it looks like I saw Boss Rutan in the trailer. He was definitely around at that time because he was a big fighter in Japan and he would have been in the same circles as Mark Kerr. Although I think he would never have been. I don't think they were the same weight class, so I don't think they would have ever fought.
Well, it looks like maybe just kind of people meeting each other as they look. It looks like we do have a couple scenes that are at least set in Japan there too. To some extent.
Definitely, yeah. Like. Which it would have to be because at the time there was the two biggest places for mixed martial arts was Japan and then was Brazil/America, which was the Gracies were from Brazil, and then they took that sport to America, and that's where the UFC came from. And in Japan they had a couple of different promotions running stuff, and they were different styles. Like you notice, they have the octagon in some scenes, and then you have just what looks like a regular boxing ring, and that would have been your scenes mostly that would take place in Japan because that's the style that they had there.
Well, it looks like they're going pretty accurate. Then the only thing that's kind of got me a little worried about this film is it's got some of those biopic warning signs cliches like, ooh, we're gonna do it, he's gonna drug, like you said.
Yep. Here comes the drug overdose.
They're gonna have a drug scene overdose and where he maybe has to get help, and and there's gonna be a low point where it's like he's having the family trouble, his wife doesn't, why are you doing this? This is because I have to. And
he's gonna come back and win right at the end.
The wife doesn't necessarily trust in him and believe in him, and that's where the thing is, it's like, that's what always kind of bothers me about the role. They have this thankless role that they have to have. We'll cast some really good female actress to play the unbelieving wife who's almost just holding him back or something, and it's almost like
or the other cliche of the one who believes way too much, like your Amy Adams in The Fighter with Marky Mark there and Christian Bale.
Yeah, it's just something like that. And then Amy Adams went on and parodied that in a different biopic film, but that's something else.
So you had Melissa Leo too in that one.
Yeah,
also really
so cool. It's just they always do that too, and it's like, so to some extent, even though I don't know anything about Kerr that much.
I want it to be good.
But I'm guessing I can kind of almost predict how it's going to go beat for beat, just because I've seen enough biopics that they're using the same format. Hopefully they just kind of focus on my favorite if you're going to do a biopic, just focus on this one specific time period in their life.
We'll
just
see
do that one. Let's see how far this one's stretched out. Looks like maybe they will. Just to be his adult life as a fighter there.
Like I said, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has a lot to prove, but I want it to be good because I really like Emily Blunt. I think The Rock's kind of due for a good one here.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different from what he's been doing. He's out of the jungle.
He's out of the jungle.
He's out of the jungle.
We
They
don't
got him out.
The jungle anymore.
Yeah, they found him.
Yeah, I think. I mean, he can act. We know he can.
He can.
We've seen him, so I know. Yeah, you're right. I'm tepidly optimistic about this one.
I'm hopeful. I'm not optimistic, though. I won't go that far.
Go that
I'm pessimistic. I don't think it's going to be good, but I want it to be good.
The only thing I just feel like if we're gonna get other biopics, we're gonna see another biopic in this before we're.
I've
down
got
the lineup.
complaints about
And,
that one, too.
How many of these biopics? At what point it's just like, well,
They like to lob awards at it.
They
So,
do.
you know,
That's the
anybody
other
who
thing.
wants awards, they just jump right into a biopic because they're like, oh, easy street, I'm going to get one.
And then how many of them do you remember 5 years later?
Nah, none.
You know?
Which
Yeah.
is a problem with the Oscars generally.
Yeah,
It's
I
like a
do,
lot of these
yeah.
are just like the movies that we forget.
Yeah, and that's the other part. They look good at first, like, ooh, I have to see that, and you get all excited when you do, but then it just blends in with a bunch of other ones. There's nothing.
Yeah.
They seem to kind of get the
Except
same
Network.
Yeah.
I recommend Network. Nobody's seen 1976's Network.
I remember it's 19.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an award film that everybody remembers. If you've seen
it has a couple very famous lines too that have stuck with us over years.
Misunderstood lines.
Yeah, I'll say, but it's a good example of it. But that's something, and we'll probably touch on that later when we get to the Oscar season.
Could be, yeah. All right, well, we'll take a look at our next film here, which I think we're going to be looking at Tron Ares, which is a film I'm just super not excited for. Let's take a look.
120 miles per hour, last beat heading northbound.
Unit 12, acknowledging dispatch. Already in pursuit.
I'm looking for something. Something I do not understand. Ready? Because there's no going back.
How do you feel about the first Tron?
I have this weird feeling, emotions about the first Tron, because that original Tron movie came out a couple years before I was born. I don't remember the exact year it came out. So by the time I come around and start hearing about films, Tron's already kind of an older film by this point, but it's a film a lot of people kind of talk about, and it had already gotten this kind of cult classic by that time. So the problem is, when I first watched Tron, it had been already parodied so much, and I already knew everything about it. So the first time I watched the original Tron movie, I thought it was okay, but I'm like, well, I know all this before. There's nothing surprising.
You already
in this.
saw it all.
I already saw it because it's been parodied so much, and that's not even the film's fault. That's just when I came around. But I'm like, yeah, that's a pretty interesting film, and I wish, because the film, that first Tron movie, actually didn't do as well as they'd hoped it would, considering it was doing a lot.
It was part of Disney's run in the 80s where they had a really tough time with some huge budget films, and that was one of them.
And it was. And the thing is, it is a pretty good movie that's been very influential over the years.
Yeah.
It's just it didn't get its flowers at the time, and it's kind of sad. So then I was always kind of like, because there had been years talking about, we're gonna get a sequel to Tron eventually. We're gonna get a full-on Tron sequel here. It's gonna happen. They even made Tron video games ahead of time, so which were okay, moderately popular, I guess. But they finally came out with that Tron, Legacy, which was called a few years back. And I saw that movie, and this is true. I was watching, I'm like, okay, I see what you're doing, film. And this is one of those sad things that I have to admit. But the one time I tried watching Tron Legacy, I think I fell asleep partway through it.
I don't blame you at all.
It's
not an exciting movie.
It wasn't as exciting because they were like, they wanted you to think about that previous film, and I'm like, okay, I like the film fine, but you're not really building anything new or great off
You got
of it.
one of the first examples of that really gross digital de-aging
Yeah, and the only reason that kind of worked is because they were in a video game for some
Well,
reason.
yeah,
So
it
you could
contextually fit.
You could justify it that way, so I kind of like, all right, that's okay, but poor Jeff Bridges, it's like, We have real Jeff Bridges right
At
there.
the time, he also was getting nominated for True Grit, so no poor Jeff Bridges. He was doing just fine at that time. I think he also got nominated for Crazy Heart. Like,
Well, he
that
won for
same,
Crazy Heart,
yeah. He was doing just fine at that time, okay?
But they brought him back for this one too, so we'll see.
Well, yeah, and he's not in the trailer. Like,
I
at
heard
all.
his voice. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure
okay.
there, but he is supposed to be at this one as well. But now they've given the lead to Jared Leto, who's supposed to be completely artificial. And I've seen other trailers for this one. Like, it's not made clear in this one, but basically the concept of this one is instead of sucking people into the video game universe, they're bringing characters out of them, digital people into real life space.
Yes.
And because of that, they're disposable. They want to use him as a soldier because they can, if he dies on battlefield,
And that's going to go bad, of course.
they can keep
Yeah.
copying him. That's the idea. They can keep, he dies, copy him again, just bring him back, and he's in there. So, disposable soldiers is kind of the idea they're kind of going with on this. Here.
Yeah, that makes
AI
sense.
soldiers, and that's really creepy here in a weird way. And I think the thing is, like, if you just made that movie and not called it Tron,
I think it would have been more interesting.
People would have been more interested. I want to see that. What are
Yeah.
they do? How are we doing this? Disposable soldiers. That's really kind of a really hot button issue, really, if you could think about it.
If you'd taken it out of the hands of Disney, cut the budget in half, given it to an interesting director, maybe we would have had something there.
Yeah. And one thing that makes me, to be honest with you, that almost sounds like a better movie than Legacy.
Yeah.
I kind of think this one probably is better than the
I
last
mean,
Tron
it
movie.
can't get worse,
Yes.
can it? Air quotes, question mark,
you're
no
probably
faith.
right. So that's the thing. It's like, well, all right, let's try this idea here. And one thing I will credit Legacy with, they did hint that this would happen in the end of their second film because a character did come out of the game into real life. So this was set up. At least they have that going here. But the fact that they took so long for them to actually make part 3 here.
Nobody wanted it. That's
no one
why.
wanted it. That's the other thing. And that's the other thing. It's like, why do they keep trying to sell us on Tron?
All right, I let you talk because I'm about to go off here. I deeply despise Jared Leto as an actor and on a personal level. I think he is not only not a good person, but also a bad actor who's yet to make a good movie where he didn't get the piss beat out of him like in Fight Club. Anyway, I digress on that point. Disney didn't particularly want to make this movie, I think, because Jared Leto funded half of it, which if you're Disney, why is one of your main actors putting up half the dang money for it? Because you don't want to make it. They got Joachim Ronig, who is a director who exclusively does Disney's vanity projects with actor-driven stories such as Maleficent, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, and now Tron Ares. So we're looking at a real winner right here. And, it's mind-boggling to me that this got made at all. But then even more perplexing, they spent almost $200 million to rub this turd together. I don't understand who is fundamentally excited about this movie. Like, maybe there's 6 people who really love Nine Inch Nails and are excited to go see this movie. Like, I don't get it.
But I could just download the soundtrack.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know
Download the
why that's the
soundtrack.
thing. But I don't know. Maybe it's just that one. It's just that one guy who they did the Tron kid who was that they used.
Is he still around? Nobody cares enough.
I know that's the thing is because he didn't even see the second one. I don't think.
Yeah.
So it's like but.
Jared Leto has a cult. I want everyone to remember that, man. He's a weird guy.
Yeah.
Why are we putting him in movies still?
Because he's paying for half the movies.
Apparently,
That's why you can get it. If you get him, then it's like, wow, we can just pay. Oh, he'll just fund it. And that's ultimately why Disney's like, well.
With his cult money.
And I think at the end, Disney was just like, well, you know what? If he's going to pay for half of it,
Might as well,
whatever,
yeah.
why not?
It's an established IP. We can just get Joachim
Maybe
Ronig.
someone will check it out. Maybe we'll get lucky in something else. And I don't know. I think Jared Leto just has something for these because, he's been in.
Apparently, he's a big Tron fan.
That and he's been in legacy AI related stories before. He was in the Blade Runner sequel too.
Yeah.
He was. So there's just something about this that I think he just likes this topic too to some extent.
Maybe
his
he
heart
just,
here.
yeah.
I don't know. And then, but maybe that passion will bring us something pretty good. I don't know. I'm hopeful a little bit, but
I think we should all do what he suggests in his famous 30 Seconds to Mars movies and bury him. Just bury him. We just forget about him for now on.
Maybe we might have to. That's the thing. Maybe we have to do that with the Tron franchise too. But the thing is, they keep seeming to try to bury.
I don't want to bury Tron. I like Jeff Bridges. Evan Peters is in this. I love Evan Peters. I'm excited to see Evan Peters.
I'm just saying maybe we just don't make any more Tron stuff.
All right, fine. As long as we get to see more Jeff Bridges.
We can see plenty of Jeff Bridges, and maybe that's the thing. Maybe we just need to. Oh, I'm afraid to say it because you know what? I think what's going to happen next, what frightens me, is they're just going to be like, guys, I think we just need to reboot Tron and start over again.
I'd rather see that. I mean, okay, the concept that you've described for like digital soldiers that come out of a video game and fight in the real world, like that sounds like a compelling story to me. And like I love sci-fi. Jeff Bridges, I'm into it. Evan Peters is one of my favorite actors. I think he's great. I have yet to see something that he's not awesome in. And you couldn't get me to see this movie if you strapped me down and opened my eyelids like a Clockwork Orange, because I cannot stand Jared Leto to such a degree. And I mean, like, I can't do it. I cannot recommend going to see this movie.
Yeah, I think you might be. We might want to wait on this one before you put some hard money to go see this one in theaters. Catch it on streaming later on, which will probably be on streaming.
I've been wrong about a lot of movies we've previewed. I don't think I'm going to be wrong about this one.
Yeah, well, I don't think you will either. That's the sad part. I mean, it'll probably be okay. The people who really wanted this will probably be satisfied and be like, yeah, could have been worse or something like that.
Possibly.
But I think but again, this is probably one of those movies.
Jared Leto has a lot of fanboys, so they'll probably.
He does. That's kind of the thing there. It's just it's gonna be like we said. It'll be a movie. I don't know how many people are gonna remember this in a couple years that it happened. Even it's like though someone's like, we haven't seen a Tron movie in a while. I'm like, yeah, we just had a third one. There was a third one. I think that conversation is gonna happen at some point.
Yeah,
like,
probably.
They've made 3 of those films. Why didn't I hear about them? I don't know. They advertised it.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, not as much as you'd think though, because I mean. It's coming out soon. I haven't really seen that much about it, except for the fact that it maybe exists, and we're watching all these things.
I don't think Disney is probably. I mean, they agreed to make it, but they're like,
they're not spending any extra
we don't
money
have to
on
spend
it.
any money on the advertising it.
It'll just get buried on their streaming service like everything else they produce.
And then maybe that stuff will escape from the streaming world someday and become sentient.
Could be, yeah. I don't like the idea of sentient additional Jared Leto's wandering around though. That's like.
No, he can just copy himself all over the place. What's that all about?
No, that is a horror movie right there. Maybe that's why it's coming out in October.
Maybe they're trying to scare you.
Yeah, could be. They've scared me. All right.
I don't know. They call it Aries, and that's not even the
well, it's the God of War.
Yeah, but it's not the Zodiac sign.
All right.
Yeah, whatever. That's myself.
All right. Well, let's talk about the next movie, which I'm pretty. I've only seen the trailer once, and I'm into it. Let's take a look at the trailer for The Astronaut here.
Something punctured your capsule and shattered your helmet.
What do you think it was?
Could have been meteor debris. You're lucky you survived.
Sounds like a close call. We're all very glad that you're okay.
Me too.
The department has secured a beautiful house for your recovery. Out of the spotlight.
Welcome. Careful pushing yourself too hard. Expect everything from nausea to dizziness, fever, hallucinations.
I'll see you soon.
I'll see you soon.
Try and get some rest.
Next house is miles away.
Sounds like a horror movie. There was something here last night. What if something followed me back?
We'll find out what the what is, okay? You got this.
Breach detected. Lockdown initiated.
I have this crazy bruising spreading all over my body. I'm seeing things that aren't actually there.
The human body takes time to remember how to function on Earth.
You're part of something really big here, Sam.
What's going on?
So we got Kate Mara trapped in what appears to be a situation where she was an astronaut from space and returns and may or may not be hallucinating monsters.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic.
I am super into this one. I think it looks pretty cool. I don't normally go for the horrors, but I'm down with it. What do you think?
Well, it looks pretty good too. I'm pretty excited about it as well. This is the first time I saw this trailer though. But one of the kicks I got out of watching this trailer is one of the pull quotes was the twist on the return from space genre. I'm like, and I thought about the genre of return from space. I'm like, oh wait, no, there are. Yep,
there's a handful.
There's a handful. This has been something similar to before.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of some of them, but there's been a couple. There's one called The Astronaut's Wife. I think that was pretty popular. With Johnny Depp a while ago. Where
there's a classic Outer Limits episode with William Shatner that I believe is also an example of a return from space.
Yeah, something happens to them up there, and they're just not quite the same there. We gotta go through the procedure there. Something went wrong, and this one it seems to be playing with whether or not it's actually happening, or whether she's gone crazy or something too, which is that added, which might be the twist part of it too, because in most of the other examples I can think of, there was something wrong.
Oh yes, generally,
It generally was. They weren't imagining it too. And in some ways that makes sense, because you're thinking about an actual astronaut, person who goes through that training, it's a lot of mental health stuff too.
Yes.
So if they're not prone to hallucinating stuff.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing too. So if I don't know yet. It's hard to say. This could go either way with this film.
Yes.
My gut tells me she's not hallucinating.
I think so too, just because I would prefer that to actually hallucinating.
I would too, just because so it's not all on her. Like it makes her more like, I'm gonna fight back about this thing.
There's another example that I can think of off the top of my head called The Hated, which is a short story by Friedrich Pohl. And in that one, it's a simulation. It's not just that he's like hallucinating or anything. It's a simulation.
Oh, sure, it makes sense.
So I mean, it could be something like that as well.
Different type of training. But and I wouldn't be surprised if like there's something that the agency, the government isn't telling her maybe, which is why they put her up in this special house too.
Could be. Yep.
That could be part of it. Like they're ahead of it. They're not. Not everyone's being completely honest with her, and that could be the twist too. Maybe we find out that the sinister thing from space that came back isn't actually that sinister after all.
Could be.
There's a lot of different ways to go with it. I did get a kick out of in the trailer there. They said, "Yeah, there's no house for a long ways here," and then she says, "Yeah, it's just like a horror movie," and I'm like, it's kind of part of it.
Well, but you're just putting her back into isolation in much the same way that space is isolation.
Yeah. So that's the other thing. That's where it's, in some ways she may be more isolated, because at least she had people on the comms when she was up there too, doing whatever was going on there. But
so this is about where I get my soapbox out here, because so I looked this up on IMDb just to get some general background information, like I always do with these films. This is directed by Jess Varley or Varney. I can't read my own handwriting. I'm sorry, Jess. And starring Kate Mara. So it's a female-centric science fiction horror movie. It has a 4.8 on IMDb right now, in spite of the fact that it hasn't come out yet.
It's a little weird.
Well, it's not weird to me, because it's a trend that I see significantly with science fiction, especially with science fiction horror, where I feel like, I may just be imagining this, but I don't think I am, that specifically female-driven science fiction and horror is often degraded or looked down upon, in spite of the fact that it is often just as high quality, or in some cases higher quality. I can think of, Alien specifically was a twist on the genre. Everyone, when it first came out, was thinking Tom Skerritt was going to be the lead. Yes, and of course it's the greatest science fiction horror film of all time. But I can think of just 2 years ago, No One Will Save You. Did you see that one?
Oh, yeah.
That movie is incredible. 6.2 on IMDb. People hate it.
Well,
I think it's incredible.
I'm going to just jump to the end here and say you are correct. They do downgrade women. And I don't know if it's just science fiction films with women in it. It's a lot of female-led films get downgraded before they've been released, because there are bots going on there deliberately doing this.
It's disgusting.
It's horrible. They shouldn't do that. They're not giving these films a chance.
Yeah.
And it makes no sense, because as we just decided, there's a precedent for this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Women-led science fiction films are fantastic.
Yeah.
It's like one of the best ones of all time, Aliens. The whole first 4 movies were female-led. Most of them all of them are.
I mean, it's a token of the thing, you know.
It works, and and I think one of the other things that pops up. I remember reading this. It It's actually about a video game. When the first Resident Evil came out, the video game.
Yeah.
That video game, that first one, there's 2 different characters you can play as: a male character, female character.
Yep.
And pretty much every one of the games in the series, male and female character. Why did they do that? Because they found out people who do horror stuff figured out it doesn't matter what gender.
Mm-hmm.
Both genders will equally see a horror movie. It
Yeah.
does not matter. So let's play to both of them. That was kind of the ideal behind it.
I'd like to point out the worst Alien movie is the one with a male lead in Alien vs. Predator Requiem. is terrible. Terrible. And guess who's
I'll take your word for it because I never bothered to watch it.
Don't watch it. It's bad.
Terrible.
Yeah.
And I think that's the other thing here that we're kind of forgetting is just how this movie will probably be fine, because even if there is a bunch of
This might be the worst movie to do this soapbox with. It could be terrible. We haven't seen it yet.
But it's a good thing to pop up because this is going to come up again.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
It came up really hardcore with some of the recent Star Wars movies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it shouldn't have. And but that's one of the things you have to realize, that problem is going to happen here. And it makes no sense because just the numbers show us that that's not true.
No.
That female film, horror movies, anything can be quite good. But if this movie, we don't know yet because we haven't seen it yet whether it's going to be good or not. But neither does all these people who are downgraded.
Yes,
saying it's bad
exactly.
already. They haven't seen it either, and they are lying. So if you're looking up at the scores, and maybe this is time for me to go on soapbox, I don't go on to a lot of the IMDb score. I just
do it for informational purposes, but I did notice, and it did frustrate me.
IMDb is good for facts.
Yes.
Sometimes I love them for facts and telling us which actors and what, and some of these other ones too, just like what year the film came out, if I need to know that stuff. But the letter ranking they give them, and like Rotten Tomatoes and all those stuff, I get kind of upset with
All those score
because they are
aggregators.
so easy to manipulate, and they do. Like, the movie hasn't come out yet. Why does it have a score at all yet?
Yes, exactly.
No one reviewed this thing. Somebody
even
clearly,
if they've seen an early copy of it, like they shouldn't be released yet.
They wouldn't be releasing their scores yet from critic. That's because a lot of times those are held back until the film actually comes out too. So those are being manipulated, and this happens so consistently. And there isn't being nobody is cracking down on this, because I guess if they did, a lot of their traffic, they're afraid, would probably gone away. But they need to look into this because it does matter. Like, people are like, what movie should we see? What movie should we put our hard-earned money in? Like, oh, look, this one got downgraded.
Yeah.
Oh, this one, people don't like this one. No, they haven't seen it yet. It's a bunch of sexist trolls who have done something terrible to downgrade the movie so that you don't see it.
I'd like to note, and I put this in my notes here, Andy Weir of The Martian he's written 3 books, all equally great books. 2 are in movies, and the third one has a female lead.
Oh, what's the third one?
Exactly.
I don't know yet.
No, because Artemis was written in 2017. It's got a female lead. It's about a young woman on the moon. A great book. I recommend reading it if you haven't. But the 2 movies that are being made are Project Hail Mary, which again, great book. Recommend reading it if you haven't read it yet. And The Martian, which we know was a Matt Damon movie and was a great movie, even better book.
Yep.
But of course, between those 2, he wrote a sci-fi story with a female lead. That one didn't get made into a movie. These other 2 did.
And it's the thing is, like, what Hollywood is going to make the movie that they think is going to make money. And that's the problem, is when you have people lying and manipulating and gaming the system, that Hollywood mistakenly thinks this can't make money. We can't get a female-led movie to make money, so we better not take the risk on it. And that's why it took forever, whether you care or not, to get a Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah, which is wild, because that movie was awesome.
The movie was great. Yeah, that first one was great, but it took forever to get. Even though she is one of the most popular superhero characters of all time, you'd think we would have gotten the Wonder Woman movie decades ago. No, it's because Hollywood.
She's relegated to making sandwiches in the Justice League instead.
They won't talk about it.
Yeah.
And then it's because you have online trolls who are pushing this kind of stuff that it couldn't make money. Not true. We know it can't.
Yeah.
You just need to be. So it is actually, I think, a really fair thing to be open about, so that we can get more of these unique films with a different perspective too, and that can be pretty darn good.
All right, I will digress from my soapbox now. We'll take a look at a much more upbeat trailer. We'll take a look at the trailer for Good Fortune here with Keanu Reeves.
Can you keep a secret? I'm an angel. See the wings? And I switched Arge's life. You can't sleep here. With Jeff's life.
Switch back, or this angel man will send you to hell forever. Smite him!
That's actually not my department.
Why did you do this?
I tried to show him that wealth wouldn't solve all his problems.
And now look at you.
It seems to have solved most of his problems.
You have to get Arch to go back. And until you do, I have to take your wings.
I'm fired?
You're human.
How will I know when I'm done chewing?
Oh, you've never eaten anything before. I think you'll just know. Just eat the hamburger.
There you go. You're a big boy, huh?
No, I'm a big boy.
We have to get jobs, Gabriel.
Pizza was yummy. 5 stars.
Nice!
They tipped you $1.15.
Dicks!
Don't you see how superficial a life of wealth and success ultimately is?
No.
You're smoking cigarettes now?
That's no bueno.
No. It's no bueno. It's muy, muy, muy no bueno, Gabriel.
The internet is amazing, Jeff. It's so useful and also distracting at the same time. I want to help you find jobs, but I also want to look at photos of baby elephants.
That line of it seems to have solved most of his problems.
No, that's the line of the year, maybe, possibly. I could see it. Maybe that becomes one of the famous lines of a quote every now.
I'm very excited about this one, almost irrationally so. I laughed so hard at that trailer.
No, it's a great trailer. I'm pretty excited about this. I had seen this trailer, a different version of this trailer before, and that one was pretty good too.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm just like, wait, Keanu Reeves is playing an angel who's not very good at being.
Yeah,
it's like there you go. That's all you need. Oh, we also have
It's like a reverse It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah, well, no, I'm sure that's exactly what they're
Yeah.
aiming for. What if we had? But although that Clarence, I guess, was not supposed to be the best angel either. When he started, he's got to get his wings. This one is.
Well, he's Gabriel though, which
He's
Gabriel is like
for whatever. I'm guessing the Gabriel from the original, from the New Testament. But so it makes you go like, why isn't he? Huh. Although, now you remember, he was in Constantine as well, where he fought Gabriel too. So we're like, he's got in a couple different Gabriel movies.
Yeah, weird connections there.
I'm guessing that
just
was
like Kate Mara was an astronaut and also the Fantastic Four.
I know, weird, isn't that? Yeah, that's just. Maybe that's the joke too. They probably were playing on that. It's like, hey, let's get Constantine to play this here. But it's great, and I think it should remember that Keanu really kind of got to start in some of those comedies too, just those screwballs. He's good at it.
Nothing negative to say about this. I like Aziz Ansari. Yep. I like Seth Rogen. Yep. I like Keanu Reeves. I think this trailer makes it look really funny. Yep. I love comedies. It just feels like it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm very excited for this one. I got nothing negative to say, which is rare for me.
Well, yeah, that's true, but I don't.
It'll probably be terrible then.
No, I think it'll be pretty good actually. And we've talked about this before, where it's like, man, we wish they'd put out more comedies in theater. We love them. It's like, and they're really going all out. They're getting the big names for this one. Because Seth Rogen's been in some really strong comedies over the year. He's great at it. But they brought along Keanu Reeves too, and that's like, and he's been doing action films for the longest time.
Oh yeah, because he's great at it.
He's great at that too. But they're like, now let's bring him back and let's have him be funny again, which he can do. He's so good at just deadpanning stuff.
Yeah,
he's just all the lines. He's just, it seems to have solved all his problems. And I appreciate that line being in there because this film, just because they're showing Gabriel having to go to work now, which he's never had to do before, and it's just showing just this joke. And it's I've heard other versions of this joke where it's like, they say money won't solve all your problems.
Yeah,
and it's like,
you ever see anybody like frown on a jet ski?
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. It's impossible to frown on a jet ski. Money buys you a jet ski. That line should be just kidding. And then there's another one like, maybe not, but it makes misery much easier to live with. Yeah. And it's just like, that's not really true. Like, fundamentally, there's so many people who their number one problem is they don't have access to enough money. And if you gave them it wouldn't even have to be a lot, just a little bit here.
Yeah. Somebody made a good point the other day that I saw that was like, we don't have a mental health crisis in America. We have a like an access crisis. People can't access things that they need, and then mental health problems are developing.
They have to
as a reaction
pay for
to
that. Pay for maybe medication.
Well, not just that, but it's coping with society. When society has issues, coping becomes part of the mental health crisis.
And even just getting access to a doctor who can listen to you.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's just not enough doctors. Sometimes in rural areas too, that can be the problem. But you know, money can always solve that.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
There's so many different things where it's like, I remember I was actually in a theater class in college where it's like when you're putting on a production, whether it's a theater production or a movie or something like that, they have the triangle that you need to make it work, and it's like, okay, you need the three things. You need the time, you need people, and you need money.
Mm-hmm.
You need those three things. Now, if you don't have one of them, you can make the other one work. So it's like,
Well,
if
you just have to have more of the other one.
one of the other ones. Like, you don't have much time. It's okay. Just get a lot of people and a lot of money.
Yep.
Or something along that lines, and
Yeah.
that'll solve the problem.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And,
You need at least a lot of one of those.
So if you have a lot of money, you're gonna solve it. You can't release your Tron 3. It's okay. Someone has a lot
Jared
of money.
Leto's got some money from that cult.
But that's how it worked. But I'm just really excited that we're gonna get this comedy out.
Yeah, they're
here.
practically begging you to see it in theaters. So we'll add that call. Go see it in
Go see it
theaters.
there,
Let's
yeah.
see more
Watch it.
comedies.
You'll get more movies like this.
Yes.
And it's gonna be funny, and everyone's gonna laugh with you in that
Yeah.
communal experience, and you'll love it. And it'll be something to talk about.
Get out in the third space with a large group of people and we can enjoy the world together instead of hiding in our homes alone, streaming it by ourselves, not knowing whether to laugh at a joke or not.
Exactly. And not only that, it's a comedy that seems to have ideas. We're going to get some capitalist critique, I think.
I think that's important.
And that's
A society that can't handle a mirror reflected on itself is not a functioning
Let's
society.
go to that. Possibly even some religious critique too. But we're
I'm okay with
considering
that,
they're
too.
angels. But maybe I think it'll be more heavy on the, I'm excited for this one because I actually have no idea how the story ends. I don't know.
Neither do I.
I don't know how you conclude this setup here. Do you switch? Because apparently they can't switch them back. I don't know. And it almost seems like the lesson that needs to be learned is Gabriel the angel.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Like he has to change and learn the lesson.
Maybe.
That's
Yeah.
And how does that help the world? We'll find out. But
We will find
That's
out.
why I'm curious. I legitimately want to see how this one turns out.
Plus the
I gotta
barrage
know.
of jokes that I'm sure we're going to be in for.
Hopefully they didn't spoil them all in the trailer.
I'm sure, because that other trailer I saw had totally different jokes.
Oh,
so,
good.
like,
Then
I'm
we
sure
have
there's
fun.
just too many to count.
Then we're set. Then.
Yeah.
We're good. All right.
Okay, let's take a look at our last trailer here. This one's for Springsteen, Deliver Me from something. I can't remember.
New Jersey.
Yeah, well, my wife would disagree. She wants to go back. Let's take a look here.
It's a hard thing. Realizing people aren't who you want them to be. It feels different coming home. There's a real emptiness.
I think Bruce is afraid of what's coming, and he feels guilty leaving behind the world he knows.
It's like I'm always running away from something. Like the past is breathing down my neck.
I don't have to tell you. We got to hit it out of the park with the next record. Bruce Springsteen's on a rocket ship. We don't want to miss that window.
The label, once you have your first top 10, they're just thinking about momentum.
I'm trying to find something real. These new songs, they're different, but they're the only thing making sense to me right now. The only thing I can still believe in.
Then we'll get it. Whatever it takes.
Well, they blew up the chicken man in Philly last night. Now they blew up his house too.
This is a highly unorthodox career move.
That's the point. He's channeling something deeply personal. But in this office, my office, we believe in Bruce Springsteen.
Everything dies, honey, that's a fact. Maybe everything that dies someday.
Songwriting's a funny thing. It's about searching for something. Something that's gonna give your life a little bit of meaning.
This is where you're meant to go.
Don't need to be perfect. I just want it to feel right.
Maybe everything that dies someday comes back.
Interesting. Again, we got our musical biopic here that we've loved to complain about. Yeah. I like Bruce Springsteen though, so I'm more into it than I was with the Bob Dylan one.
Well, that's the thing that changes him up. It's really your mileage will vary based on how much you like who it's about.
Yeah.
The thing that I will, that I do like about this one, kind of similar to the Bob Dylan one, though, is, well, Bruce Springsteen's still with us.
Yep.
We don't have to worry about this being like,
he
this
dies.
great man that died. So we don't, this movie is not, can't end that way, you know? And it looks like they're just, the thing I like what a biopic does when they just focus on this one narrow spot. It looks like this one is early in his career. They're focusing on, like, around the second album. It sounds like they're trying to do just like, because he's already big, but he wants to stay big. And how do we get that momentum? And he's going to get personal and stuff, and we're going to really get into that kind of just the artist's process for making it. But instead of him making every song throughout his career, it's just this one period in his life.
I mean, my wife's from Jersey, so I know some of the area there. It looks right. Highway 9, and you got your diners. They're in a diner and a couple of scenes there. You got the beach. She's at the beach there. It looks like the right kind of feel. I saw the bridge in Philadelphia there. Jeremy Allen White, I like a lot. Love The Bear. Show's great. Jeremy Strong, I haven't seen a ton that he's been in, but he's really good. But my one complaint with both of them is that I feel like they're doing the same thing in all their stuff, man. And I feel like that's gonna be a hot take, especially with Jeremy Strong, where he's a method. He does such method. He scowls and puts a funny voice on and everything he's in. Please stop, okay?
That's what's really gonna kind of make or break it, because he's gonna have to sound like the boss, man.
Yeah, and he just sounds like Jeremy Allen White.
This trailer didn't really hear much singing in this one. I think some of the other ones I did, it sounded fine from what I understand, but I don't know how much of it is them just doing audio trickery to make him sound that way.
Yeah.
But
the casting isn't terrible for the boss,
for the most part, correct how he should in that era. So that'll probably go a long way. But again, the thing about these biopics, a lot of them is just like, hey, can we get people an Oscar nom? And I think that's what, again, they're swinging for the fences with them. We gotta make it important. I believe in Bruce Springsteen. I mean, maybe that guy said that in real life at some point. Probably.
I mean, he's his promoter or hype man, whatever. So
of course. But was it that really super serious?
No.
Or was he probably just like, yeah, I believe in him. He's good. Oh, come on. That was. And I just wish it was that a little bit more. Almost feels like a little
too
dishonest.
Heavy.
Yeah, just honest. Like we get it. We love Bruce Springsteen. A lot of people do.
I'm probably gonna like this movie. I'm probably gonna like it, but am I gonna think it needs awards lobbed at it? Probably not. Just based on my gut feeling about it, is it's gonna be good, but it's not gonna be some transcendent.
Is it a story that we needed to hear because we didn't know this?
We didn't need it, but am I gonna enjoy it? Probably.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Yeah. So, and I don't know if we're gonna get any big. Because the other thing about all these music biopics is they're stories about an artist getting their craft.
Yeah.
Are we going to learn something about an artist getting craft that one of those other films didn't teach us? I hope so, maybe. And maybe.
It's got a good director, Scott Cooper. He did Hostiles, Crazy Heart, Out of the Furnace, Black Mass. Pretty solid resume right there. Good. Not like, some huge name that we've really heard of, but he does good work.
He does. Yeah.
And works with really good actors, and so I have every confidence he's going to handle this film and do a really good job, and I'm sure it'll be good. I just don't know if it's going to be, let's throw all these awards at it good.
Well, the question is, will this be the movie that goes up against The Rock's movie for all the Oscars?
I don't think The Rock's movie is going to be in the same category. I think this one will be better. I just do. I do. I have more faith in the actors. I have more faith in the director. I have more faith in the story. Like, I'm more interested in hearing about Bruce Springsteen than I am in Mark Kerr. Like, not that I'm not interested in Mark Kerr, but...
That's a good point. I think that's probably going to be a part of it that really sells it. And I'm confident this film will be very financially successful because there's so many fans.
Yeah, and Jeremy Allen White's super popular right now.
That's gonna.
And we haven't hit that backlash yet. We might soon. Who knows?
Maybe this is the one that does. But I think it certainly will be a very successful film. I'm confident of that. And hopefully it's good. We don't know. We don't have our crystal ball on that. But
we'll talk about this again at the Oscar time, probably.
I'm confident we will, because either we'll be saying something like, "Yeah, we're
big
right,
swing and a miss," or
maybe we'll be saying it got snubbed because something else came out that we didn't know about. Find out.
Yeah, indeed.
But again, I think it's all going to come down to how much you just like that Bruce Springsteen sound here, and if you're a fan. I would check out the film then. This is going to be the big one for him.
When I was a kid, I had a Sesame Street tape that was I think it was like Born to Ad or something like that, and it was a Bruce Springsteen cover. It was pop covers of like, but it was Sesame Street pop covers. So it was Bruce Springsteen, Born to Ad, but it was like Kermit or something. Not Kermit. It was Bert and Ernie, I think.
Sure.
Serial Girl instead of Material Girl. What else was it? There was a few of them. Yeah. Yeah, that was my jam when I was like 4.
Well,
be
there you go,
in the back of my mom's Jeep listening to Born to Ad by the Sesame Street Band.
Did it help you, Ad?
No, it didn't, but it developed a fondness for Bruce Springsteen at the time.
Well, that's all you really need then.
All right, well, that's all the movies we have to preview for this month. I was going to say, we don't have any quiz this week, so I was just going to say, let's recommend a movie to each other that maybe we haven't seen. Something from the older scales here.
Older
so
scale.
like
Anytime
I'm thinking
when-
mid 80s at the latest.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we won't go back too far. Let's see here. What have I been watching lately?
Yeah.
I just check out here that. Because the thing is, I think a lot of the movies I've seen, you probably have seen too.
I don't know, man. I've seen a lot of movies, but we definitely don't have the same overlap.
No,
that I think.
that's true. There's certain things that we haven't quite checked out there. That what was I watching earlier? I've been. See, the thing is, I was like, what was the last thing I was watching on TV? And the last thing I was watching was some Star Trek. And I know you watched Star Trek.
I was watching Star Trek last night. You know what movie I watched the other day? I don't know if you've seen this one, but A Bridge Too Far.
I have not seen that.
1976, I want to say, or 77. Michael Caine, Gene Hackman, James Caan, Robert Redford. It's the most absurd cast I've ever seen in a film. It was like they took every single big name actor from the 70s and they gave them 5 minutes in one movie that's 3 hours long.
There you go.
It's not the best movie I've ever seen, but it's fast. Sean Connery's in it.
Oh boy.
It's fascinating to watch just for the sake of seeing so many actors on screen at the same time. Laurence Olivier's in it.
Perfect. Well, you know what? Then I'll throw out a film. You probably have seen it, but it came out around the exact same era. But I was inspired to watch it again recently because I got the new Blu-ray of it. All the President's Men.
I've actually never seen All the President's Men.
There you go. That's a good one. And I had to go back and visit it because that's Robert Redford.
Yeah.
Who sadly we lost recently.
Yeah, that's why I watched A Bridge Too Far because I was like, I gotta find a Redford film, and
Exactly.
I couldn't find Jeremiah Johnson, which I'd seen recently,
Yeah.
and I really wanted to watch 3 Days of the Condor, but I couldn't find that one because that's my favorite Redford
And for
film.
our baseball series, remember, we actually watched The Natural,
Yep,
which
yes.
is into, and it made me just one of those things that's sad because Redford, we wouldn't have had All the President's Men. He was there producing it, basically co-directing it to make it happen. And
he took all the money from A Bridge Too Far because I think he got paid $20 million. Yeah. He's in the movie for 15 minutes.
There you go. Well, he really truly was just one of the great actors out there. And he goes back. I mean, he was in a Twilight Zone.
where he plays Death.
He plays the Grim Reaper, and he's fantastic.
Yeah,
and
I watched that one recently.
That was
actually,
just mind-boggling. And there's so many other great things he's been in, but he was so influential because the reason I like All the President's Men, and I didn't just watch All the President's Men, I listened to the audio commentary, which is him. It's him talking about the movie, why he did it. He was planning to make that movie back when the Watergate stuff was still going on because he remembers, because he was making another movie called The Candidate in the early 70s when this is all breaking, and to promote that film, he was on a candidate train kind of with all the other politicians there, and then he was talking to the reporters, and the break-in became news. He's like, is this going to become something? And all the reporters' attempts said, no, probably not. And he's like, what? And he felt bad. He's like, this should be. This seems like a big deal. But all the reporters were cynical. And then he realized, no, the Washington Post, there's these 2 reporters actually covering this. This is interesting. So he was following up, and he's like, yeah, when you guys write a book and do a movie rights about this, can I? No, it hadn't been. Richard Nixon hasn't resigned yet. He's already trying to get the rights.
That's crazy. Well, I think we'll both have to watch a Robert Redford film then.
Well, maybe we should do another one, get another one in there. But he did so many great ones in his career, and probably go back. Another one if we're going to recommend another Robert Redford film, The Sting.
The Sting. I haven't seen The Sting either.
It's so good.
I need to watch more Robert Redford. I've seen a bunch of his movies though. Like 3 Days of Condor is a great movie.
You can go back and Bush Cassidy.
Yep. See, that's a good one too. Yeah.
and even one of the good Marvel films. He's in, of course, Winter Soldier, which is so good.
He's great in that. I think I still wish, having watched it, when I first watched it, I was like hoping the whole time he'd reveal to be the Red Skull. But like, you know, I'm disappointed he wasn't a Red Skull, but he was still great in it.
Oh yeah, and I remember like they asked him, "Why did you agree to do this movie?" He's like, "My grandkids thought it'd be a good idea."
That's always what it is. That's why
grandkids. But he liked it. He took it all seriously.
Yeah,
and he did a great job. But, you know, for our younger people who maybe don't know the power of Robert Redford, again, you mentioned Jeremiah Johnson. One of the most famous memes of all time is him looking at the camera, nodding with a big beard. After he died, I told people this, and people, that was him?
Yeah, it doesn't really look like him because he's so, like,
he has the big beard. It's so funny, but there you go. And then that one also has the distinction of being, because he did a lot of period films that took place in the past. That's the farthest in the past he ever went back for a film.
Oh, I did not know that. I didn't.
Yeah. 1840s, 1850s there, so got to be a mountain man. So.
Yeah.
But he deserves it just for that.
Yeah. All right. Well, what film are we coming up with? It's the last film of the baseball series, right?
Yeah, it's true. We're ending it on another based on a true story film.
Moneyball, right?
Moneyball,
one of my favorites.
Which is about how he got Sabernomic, the whole rise.
Sabermetrics.
Yes, good. Sabermetrics, which is basically where how they kind of rate and do fantasy baseball now to some extent.
So from what I understand, it is based on a true story, but it's very, very loosely, and like a couple of the characters are composites.
They did some composite characters because it's the A's, the
and they eliminated some people who were really important, like players that were really good on that team, just are not featured at all because
they couldn't get everybody
exciting.
in there, so they just focused on a few of them. But you have Brad Pitt, who's playing a real life kind
Billy
of
Bean,
manager, who is the kind of guy who made this phenomenon popular.
Yep.
And for everyone who doesn't remember that season of baseball, the A's shouldn't have been able to be that good, but they had used the system and they knew how to hire the right people so they could get on base percentage, and that was what it took. And
from what I understand, a point of conflict in the film between Philip Seymour Hoffman and Brad Pitt is actually not from that A's team, but from a Red Sox team
that
adopted the sabermetrics approach
that might
the next
be true.
year.
Yeah, and that's a bit of a spoiler here, but the thing is, this thing that was invented for the 2002 season of the A's was so successful it got adopted by Boston Red Sox
and helped them win a World
Series.
And
that's how they got their World Series back again, because they basically took this entire approach to it. And
which is part of the movie at the end.
Yep,
they
mention it. Yeah, mention it too, and it's a fascinating thing because it's just the movie is very. It doesn't seem so much about baseball because the main character is a manager, which throws you off. And so are some of the other sub characters. Like very few of the main characters are actually playing baseball.
Yeah, it's less about the sport and more about the behind the scenes, which is fascinating. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, but in the end of it, I love it too. It's one of my favorites too, just because at the end of the movie, baseball, the love of baseball is still there. There's still the spirit in there. They make that a point of it because one of the things about the movie here that keeps popping up, a theme about this one, is that people were undervalued. They're not being valued. People who have been ranked low and maybe not as good are actually they deserve credit.
Value,
You're just not seeing it, and that's kind of the big deal. And that's the main character, Bean, was undervalued.
Yep.
He knew what he was doing, but they kind of didn't. He didn't get the credit he deserved until later on in life. And there's a lot of other players that was same true of them as well. And that's just let's see the value of what we can do here, and that it did change how we do baseball to this day. So that's why you have a lot of different team concept. That's why you can get a Boston Red Sox victory and a Cubs World Series too.
Yes, because that was Theo Epstein, who was he broke 2 curses, that man. But just by being effective at managing a baseball team.
I know, it's so crazy, but it just I think a lot of people also love it too because again, I know so many people who are into the fantasy sports stuff.
Yep.
This is kind of how fantasy sports really got big because of some of this stuff. It had been around for a bit, but this is when they really popped it up. Got there too. So if you're a fan of that kind of just those numbers, but baseball and everything, this is the movie for you. It's really the performances are really pretty strong too.
Oh yeah, I love Brad Pitt in the movie.
But this will conclude our baseball series too.
What's coming up next in the next series?
Oh, that's exciting here.
Do we know yet?
I do actually.
I don't even know yet.
I will spoil it here. I won't tell you the films yet because I think we're still trying to fine tune that, make sure we can get them.
Yeah.
But Steve and I thought we probably should do another director series now. And it's like, well, what's the director that we haven't tackled yet? And he's going for the big one, Steven Spielberg. We're doing Spielberg.
That's a big fish. I loved Spielberg up until 2003, maybe 2004, and then I don't love Spielberg.
Okay. Well, the thing is, we decided to cover his whole career because we do 6 films. He's been making films for basically 6 decades.
Oh, yeah.
So we can get a movie from each decade.
Mhm.
That's the idea. That was the tricky part. It's like, which one do we get from each decade?
It's tough because, like think about the '80s.
Yeah.
What?
And part of it was like, which film did we screen already? 'Cause
Yeah,
some of we have screened a few of his already.
For sure,
so
yeah.
We'll skip those ones because
Mhm.
we did Raiders of the Lost Ark a long time ago. So
Yep.
it's like we won't do that one. And then I know we did War Horse actually eventually too. So it's like we'll get a different one from that era. So,
Yeah.
and I think right now, again, we're not 100% sure. We'll probably start with Close Encounters.
It's my favorite.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
And then we'll probably
Super underappreciated movie.
It is. Well, that's the other thing is we figured everyone's seen Jaws.
Yeah, exactly.
so we'll
Not that Jaws isn't great. Jaws is
fantastic.
awesome.
It's the 50th anniversary of Jaws, right?
But like
actually.
Close Encounters
Let's
is
get
a
this
sneaky
one.
one.
So we'll get in that one, and then we'll probably actually keep it in the alien vibe. Jump to E.T.
All right. I hate E.T., but that's okay.
We talked about it, but too bad. We're gonna force it.
It's all right. It's all right.
And then we gotta, and I think Steve, because it's his favorite, will do Jurassic Park.
You can't not. It's so good.
It's so good. So, well, a little bit of different eras of them, different styles there.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. But that's what we got coming up.
All right. Well, that's all from us here at the New Ulm Film Society. Go out and see a movie.